Hi, everyone. Welcome again to another episode of the Winning Strategy series for 2025. Recall, I had said in my previous videos that we have just one goal here, and that goal is to ensure that you succeed this year in literally every area of your life. And in case you're joining this series for the very first time, we've had several sessions where we've talked about different things. We've talked about how you can win as a business person. We've talked about how you can win in your personal development and your growth. We've talked about how you can win with emotional intelligence. We also had a session on how you can win in your career. And we had an amazing session also on how you can win as a career mom. So today, all of those things, one thing that is very common and very important in your winning this year is your finance. So we're having a session today where we'll be talking about how you can win in your personal finance. And we have an expert who will be discussing with us today on how you can win in your personal finance. We have on the call today Damilola Olatubosun. Thank you so much for joining the call, Damilola.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. So just like our tradition is, I'm going to introduce Damilola a little bit. If you are in Nigeria, I'm very sure you would know Money Africa. Money Africa is um, one of the organizations that help you understand money, help you with investment, help you with everything around how you can, make the most of your finances. And Damilola is one of the key people at Money Africa, and she's here today to discuss with us how we can, what you typically would have paid for. You are here today to enjoy it for free. That doesn't mean you shouldn't go and pay for their programs and learn more about financial literacy. So, like I said, we are honored to have Damilola join us today on the call, and we'll be having a very, very interesting chat on how you can win in your personal finance. Yes, before I continue with the questions, if you've not subscribed to this channel, please try to subscribe to this channel because we have really, really amazing content that are designed to help you be better. We're not doing this because we're trying to just gain traction, but the goal is to ensure that you have a better life at the end of the year and you can look back and say you had a better 2025 than you have ever had previous years. So, once again, thank you so much for joining this session, Damilola. We appreciate your time. Thank you so much. It's an honor to have you join us.
Thank you for having me, and I can't wait to share one or two things on personal finance too.
Thank you. All right. So, by way of starting, when we talk about personal finance, a lot of people are familiar with the word, but they don't really, really understand what personal finance is. So, in a layman term, can you just help us understand very quickly what personal finance really is and how what it
Okay.
means to win in personal finance?
Okay, so personal finance in a layman time is just having your finances sorted out, like knowing where your money is going to, know the ability to make your money, and lastly, have the ability to keep this money and not just even keeping the money, even and also growing the money, because keeping the money is just one thing. The ability to grow the money is another thing. So in summary, personal finance is the ability to make money, ability to know where your money is going to, ability to keep your money, and then most importantly, ability to grow your money.
Thank you so much.
Then
That was very okay. Yes, please.
then to answer the last aspect where you said that what does it mean to win in personal finance? Um, in my own for my own understanding, to win personal finance, it means that you have to have the you it means that you must have successfully know where your money is going to,
Yes.
successfully been able to say that, okay, oh, I am debt free, being able to
Mm.
successfully say that I am not necessarily unclear about where my money is going to. By being able to do these three basic things, you can at least say that you are winning when it comes to personal finance.
Thank you so much, Damilola. That was very brief and straight to the point. I think for me, the part that I typically would not have thought about before when it comes to personal finance is where you said that personal finance is knowing where your money is going. Because for a lot of us, what we understand about personal finance is you make money, you save, you invest, and that's it. But it's also important, like you have mentioned, to know and understand where our money is going because you realize when you take that record of where you mostly spend your money, that sometimes you're spending money more on the things that are less important and less on the things that are more important. So thank you very much for that very insightful introduction. Then the next question I'll be asking is, what are the easiest ways for someone who is starting? So let's assume that everybody on this call are new to the concept of personal finance. Now, somebody who wants to start to say, well, I'm going to start this journey of being financially independent. How would you? What are the easiest ways you think that people can start with budgeting, which I believe is a very fundamental part of personal finance?
Hmm. To answer your question, I think the first thing you have to do, the first thing you have to do is to know where your money is going to, right? Of course, you want to start budgeting, but for you to start budget, I tell people that the major reason why a lot of people don't end up budgeting well or sticking to their budget is because they end up setting unrealistic budget. So because of
Okay.
you set an unrealistic budget, you won't even you make the budget before the end of the month. If your budget is monthly, you are outside your budget already. You're unable to keep your budget. So one major thing I tell people is that before you even say you want to start budgeting, do a 3 month bank statement analysis. Ask yourself, where have I been spending my previous money? How have I been spending them? By doing that, it will now give you an idea of how much you should budget for each aspect of your expenses, your transportation, your feeding, even your gifting, how much you should budget for each and every one of them. By doing that, it just means that when you now want to create the budget, you'll
Yeah.
be able to use that figure to now create a realistic budget. And I always recommend that when you want to create a budget, try as much as possible to stick to the 50-30-20 rule. But of
Okay.
course, the 50-30-20 rule says that 50% of your money or your budget should be focused on your need, those things you can't do without. 30% should be focused on your want, those things like
Okay.
you want to travel, you want to go and see a movie, you want to gift yourself, you want to buy that nice bag. And then the 20% should be meant for your savings, your investments, and the
Okay.
like. But then, like I always say, be flexible when it comes to your budget. And budgeting actually gives you freedom, unlike the way other people think that budgeting does not give budgeting give you freedom to do whatever you want to do.
Okay, thank you so much, Damilola. Are there apps you can recommend for somebody, like I said, who is starting for the very first time to want to take their personal finance seriously? Are there apps that you think they can adopt in this process that is very easy for a layman to understand?
Just to say, if I'm to advise, there are a lot of apps, right?
Okay.
But one major thing I tell people when it comes to budgeting is that don't start with the sophisticated apps. Yes, I understand that. Of course, you can use an app, and the
Yeah.
app will help you to know where your money is going to and all that. But don't start with the sophisticated app. With as little as your paper and biro, you can start budgeting. With as little as your spreadsheet, with your spreadsheet, that is your Excel,
So,
you can actually use that also for your budget. And I've realized that a lot of people tend to undermine the power of Excel, right? If you sit down today and you create a simple budget with your Excel, you realize that it is way more easier. But then, of course, there are a lot of apps. But if you are a new beginner, I will tell you that rather than you investing your money saying you want to download a new app or you want to start paying subscription on the app, don't do that. That could be a way of losing your money. Don't do that. Rather, start with your paper and biro, start with your Excel spreadsheet. If you're able to do that comfortably, then maybe on the sophisticated level, you can now take it. You can now start downloading
okay.
apps that can actually help you to track your spending.
All right. Thank you so much, Damilola. So I'm going to move to the next question. Now, there are people who say, I understand that I need to save. I really want to save, but I'm struggling to save. Somebody who is having issues with saving, are there tricks you think that they can adopt to help them kickstart their saving habits?
Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so this is one major thing I tell people, that don't rely on willpower to help you to save. Don't say that, oh, I have this strong will and I'm going to use my strong will to save. Even if you are very good at saving, don't do that. What I tell people that automate your savings. Thank God there are lots of, even if you're not the fintech inclined person, your traditional banks give you the avenue to automate some of your savings. It will tell you that you have the ability to every month on a particular date, a certain amount of some money can be deducted from your account. So what I always recommend is that if you are new to saving, even if you are old to saving, don't rely on self-will. Automate your
Yeah.
savings. There are lots of fintech apps that you can use. Your traditional banks will also allow you to automate it. And let me share a funny story. That's something that
Okay.
happened to me. I remember when I wanted to start saving and I was like, okay, yes, I just automated my savings. Then on this particular month was the December. My salary came early and I was like, my mind, I was like, I'm going to flex myself this December. I'm going to go to the mall. I'm going to do this. Yeah, and I knew I was supposed to save. Since my salary came earlier than usual, I knew I was supposed to
Yeah.
deduct it and save.
Mm,
But my mind was like, no, I just want to flex myself. Fast
mm.
forward on the due date, the date that the app was supposed to deduct the money. I was sleeping and then I woke up. I just saw, when you wake up and you wake up to a debit alert. I was confused
Yeah.
that wait, how did this huge amount of money leave my account? Only for me to check the narrative. Right? When
Yeah.
I checked the narrative, I now realized that the app have actually deducted it. So that is just to show you that even those people that are the OGs when it comes to saving, they still rely on automated. Because if not because of I automated my savings, that month I wouldn't have saved because self willpower
Yes.
was there. So please try as
Mm.
much as possible to automate your savings.
Thank you so much, Damilola. That's a very, very important point. When you're sharing your story, I laughed because I recall something that happened to me some time ago. I had this app I was using that I also automated my savings, and that month I needed money. So what I then did was, before the day they were supposed to deduct my money, I quickly removed the money so that they would not see anything to deduct.
Oh, Jesus.
But the honest truth is, we need absolute discipline to be able to stick to this. And sometimes you then realize that what you are trying to deduct the money from so that they don't take it from you, you are realizing that that particular thing, you could actually do away with it in the long run.
Mm-hmm.
So discipline, I think discipline is a key word here for anybody who is trying to, because like I said, like my own example, you can beat the automated system if you want to, but it
Yes, you
needs
can, right?
discipline. Yes, you need discipline to be able to allow that automated system work for you. Okay, so I'm wrapping up very quickly. I have just a few more questions. So when you talked about personal finance, you didn't stop at savings. You also mentioned investment, which means an important part of personal finance is also investment. Now, what are some beginner friendly investments you can recommend to somebody who is looking to invest for the first time?
Okay, so for beginner friendly, depending on your previous risk appetite, if you're let's I'm going to take it from someone that has a very low risk appetite. If you have a very low risk appetite and you're new to investing, first thing I will tell you to do is you can look for a fixed savings app, like our ladder app. You can download our ladder app,
Okay.
put your money there, and you're certain that at a particular point you are going to get your returns on your investment. That is for somebody that does not want to take risks at all. So you can just put your money in a fixed deposit. You know that okay, you just get a return on your money. You're not taking any risks, right?
Okay.
Another thing
Yeah.
you might want to consider is investing in mutual funds, right?
Okay.
Mutual funds are platforms that allow investors to invest as little as 5,000 naira, 10,000 naira. You can invest, and then they'll tell you that you keep your money for a certain period of time, and you're going to get a return on your investment. So I tell people that if you are somebody that does not like to take a lot of risks, you can put your money in mutual funds. And the good news is that with as little as 5,000,
I can't hear you anymore. I think the network is breaking. Okay, I think the network from Daniela's end is having a bit of an issue. Okay, she's back. All right.
sorry.
I
So,
lost you for a few
like I
minutes.
said, okay, sorry about that. So, like I said, you can start with fixed deposit. Apart from your
Okay.
fixed deposit, you can take it a step further by going to mutual funds. And if you don't want to do mutual funds, which is something that is safe that you can do, another thing you can do is, if you are somebody that, okay, you're now open to taking risks, I advise you to put your money in the stock market. And I always tell people that if you want to grow your wealth, if you really want to grow your wealth, then you should take investing serious. Savings is good, but you won't get much from savings. The best you
Yeah.
can get from savings is just you edge yourself against inflation. But when it comes to investing, you're able to you take advantage of the compounding interest. And a good way
Yeah.
for you to do that is by investing in the stock market. So I'm going to take it a step further. If you want to invest in the stock market,
Yeah.
there are a lot of apps these days that allow you to do that. Unlike in the olden days that you have to go and meet a broker, that the broker would help you to
Yes.
invest. Now it's very, very easy. You can download any of this app. I'm not going to mention it because they're not paying me to advertise them. So, so, but you can download any of this app, and by downloading any of this app, you just sign up, do your KYC. After that, you fund your account with as little as 10,000 naira. You can actually start to invest, right? And all you just need to do is look for those companies. Even by me asking you as a Nigerian, or somebody that is interested in the global market, you know those companies that are making wave already in the market. That is, if you
Mm,
even say you don't really know a lot about investing, but you know those companies that are making wave in the market. Buy a
yeah.
little of their shares, right? Buy a little of their
Yeah.
shares. And before you know, I tell people that if you invest in the stock market, you will enjoy compounding interest. So you will notice the way I pick it from. I pick it from a
Yes.
fixed income account for those people that
Perform.
does not want to take risks at all. For those people that
Yeah.
at least are open to taking a bit of risk, you can invest in mutual funds. But then if you know
Yeah.
that you have a good risk appetite, then you can invest in the stock market
True.
where you are
Yeah.
practically investing in, you are owning a stake in someone's company. So I hope I
Yes.
answered your question.
Yes, you did. Thank you so much, Damilola. Although I wish you were able to mention some of those apps, I know they're not paying you, but somebody who is looking for, at least they would have an idea what they should be looking out for. Yeah.
Okay. So, just like I mentioned, if you want to start investing, you can use platforms like, if you want to start investing in fixed income, right? Even your emergency fund, your target savings, you can use platform like Ladder by Money Africa. You can use that, and the truth is that they pay good interest rate. Ladder pays between 19 to 20% per annum for your
Oh
Naira
wow.
savings. And for your
Yeah.
dollar savings, you get about 5% per annum on your savings. Then, if you want to invest in mutual funds, you can invest with platforms like Cardinal Stones. They actually
Okay.
offer a good return on their investment. And I believe you guys also know the popular and Stanbic IBTC mutual funds. A lot of people
Yeah.
know about it, so you can invest in that. But then if you want to invest in the stock market, right, there are three major platforms I'm going to recommend. One is Bamboo, the other is
Okay.
Trove, then the last
Okay.
is Checker. And the reason why I'm mentioning these three platforms, there are a lot, but the main reason why I'm
Yeah.
mentioning these three platforms is because they all allow you to invest in the local and in the global market, right? I
Yes.
believe that we don't have local people here. We have global
Yes.
people on
Sure. Sure.
as subscribers. So
Yes.
if you want to invest in the global market from Nigeria, you can actually use any of these platforms to invest in the global market.
All right. Thank you so much. Okay, I think your network again.
Okay. Is it better?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Sorry about
Thank you so much, Dami. I really appreciate. So even if they didn't pay you for the adverts, we are grateful because you've just helped
Thank
somebody.
you.
You've just helped somebody have a clear direction of what they should do, and I'm truly grateful for that. Thank you. I have two more questions, and then we're good to go. The next question is: how do you advise somebody who is trying to balance between savings and investment with a low income? I mean, somebody who isn't earning much but wants to save, wants to invest. How do you encourage such balance for the person? You didn't get my question. I think you're frozen again. Hi, Dami. Okay. We seem to be having network issue on this call. I apologize to everyone who is finding this distortion a bit not okay. Network can be like this, so please bear with us. Okay, Dami, did you get the question I was asking?
Yes, I got the question. I also want to
Okay,
apologize. So I don't know what's wrong with
fine.
MTN. They've been a bit down this past few days.
Yes,
So I'm
actually,
sorry about that.
it's fine.
So to answer your question, the truth is that when you want to, I tell people that there's a big difference between savings and investment. When
Okay.
you are saving, you should save with a goal in mind. It could be your emergency fund. Maybe you want to set up an emergency fund. You are saving to go to school. You are saving to get that gadget. You are saving to travel. You should have a goal in mind. But when it comes to building wealth, right, it's entirely different. So, in order for you to balance it, I tell people that first thing first, before you even want to start investing, try as much as possible to have an emergency fund. And the reason why it's helpful that try to have an emergency fund is because that is save up your emergency fund. And the reason why I say you should save up your emergency fund is because you don't want a situation whereby an emergency happens and you've been investing, then you now have to sell off your investment. That is really, really
Yes.
discouraging, right? So try as
Yes.
much as possible to build up your emergency fund, right? And then as you build up your emergency fund, you can now start to invest, right? And even if you are low income, I tell people that no matter how little, if you are saving, you could tell yourself that, oh, I'm saving to get a cute shoe for myself. I'm saving to get a bag or wig for ladies
Yes.
or a gadget. But for your investment, even if you tell yourself as a 9 to 5 that okay, oh, maybe 10,000 naira every month, you could tell yourself that every month out of my salary, I'm going to deduct 10,000 naira. That is like if you are earning 100K, that is like 10% of your
Yes.
salary, right? If you are
Yeah.
earning 200K, if you want to do 10%, that is 20,000 naira. Just tell yourself maybe 10% goes to my investment, right?
Okay.
And then 10% goes to my savings. So if you are
Okay.
earning 100K, that's just 20,000 naira, right?
Yes.
So that is
Yes.
just it. And I tell people that why one major reason why I always encourage people to start investing is that it is better you start to invest. The earlier you invest, the better for you, right? So don't say, oh,
Yes.
I don't have a lot of money, and because I don't have a lot of money, I'm not going to invest.
Yes.
So,
Yes.
so I believe that's it.
All right. Thank you so much, Dami. One last question. So, for somebody who is listening to this program today, and the person has decided that, okay, after listening to you, Dami, I've decided to take control of my finances. What is the next practical step you think that person should take?
Okay, so for me, this is what I'm going to advise the person to do. The first thing you have to do is you have to do an audit of your finances, pick up your bank statement, see where you are spending your money, right? Those areas, see where you are spending your money, see those, identify those places you are losing your money. Maybe from paying for unused subscriptions, from buying those things you don't need. Look for those areas, identify those areas, create a budget for yourself. I know it might be difficult, right? But create a realistic budget for yourself, right? Then after
Yeah.
doing that, then the next thing you need to tell yourself is how much am I going to save? For your savings and even for your investment, automate it, right? Tell yourself every month this certain amount of money is deducted from my account and it is being sent to my savings and it's being sent to my investment account.
Investment
And
account.
then
Yeah.
after doing that, every month, just even if you know when they say a little drop make a mighty ocean, then just keep dropping it. Just keep dropping it. If imagine you saving 10,000 naira from January, by the end of December, you have 100,000 naira. You have 120,000 naira, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that is just for savings. But if you are investing, you have a lot more because you'll have enjoyed compounding interest, right? So
Yes.
remember, audit your finance, create a budget.
Network at it again. I'm so sorry, everyone. The network is really, really giving us issue today. Should we back up again? Before you know it, she'll be back up. I hope you're learning a lot while we're waiting for Dami to come back to the call. All right, so Dami is back on the call. Dami, please
So,
continue.
so let me just summarize. So remember, first of all, audit your finance, create a budget, and after creating a budget, automate your savings and start to invest, right? Don't even think about it, right? Just create a system that works for you. That is what I'm just going to say. So use this um, tips, use it to create a system that works for you. So
All right. Thank you so much, Damilola. It was such a pleasure having you on the call. And of course, you have proven to us once again that you are a financial educator. We learned a lot from
thank
you.
you.
I personally think that you see this bank statement thing, I need to go and start from there myself. Even if I'm very crazy about personal finance, investing, and all, there's still something to take out from here, an action point for me. And I believe that everybody who is also listening has an action point for them. But at the very end of this, the most important part of this conversation is to ensure that you are getting to the point of financial freedom and independence. You are intentional about how you spend your money, how you grow wealth. I think I like when you use that word, growing wealth. Growing wealth is different from just your keeping money outside. Let your
Mhm.
money begin to work for you, and that can only happen if you are investing. So thank you everyone for staying to this point, for watching this video. I hope you find it helpful. If you have questions, of course, you can also drop your questions in the comment section. If you haven't subscribed, I don't know how else to convince you at this point that this is this channel you want to
Please
be.
subscribe.
Please subscribe to the channel. And if you find this content helpful, which I believe you do or you did, please like, please comment so that we also know that you are enjoying this content, and share with your people. I'm sure somebody out there would want to understand better how they can win in their personal finance. Thank you so much, Damilola, for your time. You could be anywhere else but here, but you chose to be here. So we are honored. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
And
you.
yeah, so we wish you a lovely week ahead, and stay blessed, everyone. Bye.
Okay. Bye. Okay.